All right, hello and welcome everybody. We are doing another cast for the Blue Carbon Cup round of 16. Today we have Smokey's former show match opponent Oladushek. Remember when Smokey and Oladushek did a show match? So this is the same guy that Smokey played against, but Smokey is not playing in the tournament itself. So we got Oladushek versus dogao here. So you guys might remember who Smokey played in the show match. Same character here. So he's got a little bit of practice, and he's going to need it because dogao is like number 16 in the world, and Oladushek is. I'd have to check the statistics here, which we'll do in just a second. But first, I want to show their spirit animals. Oladushek has this Malagasy sacred ibis, and dogao has the painted sweet lips, which is some kind of fish. This is an ecology-themed tournament. Now, contrary to what some of you may think, the winner of the tournament does not gain exclusive rights to the tropical islands or areas that these animals live in. These animals are still expected to live in harmony with the other animal that they are battling with after the tournament is over. The spirit animals are just for fun. The only thing that's at stake is a little bit of prize money and, of course, bragging rights. So let's go and take a look at these player profiles now that we've shown off their mascot, their animals that they're playing for. So first is dogao. He is number 16 in the world. His ranking is about 2.6K, and his longest streak ever has been plus 32. So he's top 50. He's a pro player. He's going to be one tough guy to beat. And Oladushek is number 749 in the world, and he is around 1830 right now. So he is definitely the underdog, but with custom map pools, anything can happen. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the battle unfolds. So you guys might remember that there's all kinds of custom maps for the Blue Carbon Cup. I even created one of them, although there are other maps created by other people here. And we'll see if any of them play my map, but I don't think that they will. So in case we need to look up anything about a map, I've got the cheat sheet here. The first map is called Okavango, and let us begin with the cast. So let's turn that up a bit. In the blue, at about 1 o'clock, we have Oladushek playing as the Koreans, and at 9 o'clock, in the red, we have dogao playing as the Mongols. So Mongols could be a good choice for this map. It seems like there's a lot of hauntable animals. And Oladushek is going to find all of these elephants. He better hope that dogao doesn't figure out how to bring all these elephants into his town center. There are a few crocs guarding the elephants. But this area is supposed to sort of represent some kind of wetland area in Africa. I think it's a river. The Okavango is some kind of river, and this is sort of a marsh area that either feeds the river or is the outlet for that river. It is in Africa. Oladushek bringing in his first boar here. Okay, gets it. He gets it in okay. So dogao coming this way with his scout. I wonder if dogao is going to try to lame some of these boars in, or some of these elephants rather. So we got stands of baobabs, we've got these acacia trees, we've even got a few scattered dragon trees in here. This is a great place for a lumber camp. And we basically need to keep an eye on how many dogao puts on wood here. If he only puts 3 on wood, then this will tell me that he's going for a scouts build. And I think scouts would make a lot of sense on this map. The wood lines are quite terrible, very difficult to wall. And so you could potentially do a lot of damage with scouts, especially on a map this open. Oladushek coming out to put some villagers on wood as well. He's got a goat over here. He should bring that in. But there are some alligators here. Does he have loom yet? No, he does not. Luckily for Oladushek, these alligators have not spotted his villagers building a lumber camp. I think they might both go scouts, but we'll see what happens here. Aha! dogao is being seduced by these boars. Look at this. What? No way. No way. All right, he's getting attacked by a croc. She will survive because the scout is here to help. But she only has 8 HP, so maybe dogao, it looks like he's going to head back to his town center. He's thinking better of it. Now, Oladushek was here with his junk. If he saw it, if he saw an attempted boar lure, he might have been able to do something about it. But dogao is just going to kill the zebra, take some food, and then walk home. So both players have approximately no idle time. Actually, Oladushek with 0 seconds of idle time versus dogao's 1. But that will definitely accumulate throughout the game here. Hey, Zerg, welcome. Okay, dogao stealing some water buffaloes. Finding some water buffaloes here. Okay, so Oladushek is going on to this mining camp. Oh, is he stealing them or is he giving them to Oladushek? Long time no siege, that's right. Okay, so it looks like dogao is attempting a double elephant lure, and Oladushek tried to block it with his junk, but dogao's scout is here, and he's ready to fight it. These 2 elephants are going to be insane food income for dogao. He was able to get it. He had enough villagers to block. So dogao doesn't even care that he's going to lose this scout fight. He's going to be able to make 1,000,000 scouts with all that elephant meat. However, Oladushek is on his way up to the feudal age first. Dogao close behind him. So Oladushek doing some kind of... okay, so dogao was going to steal these water buffaloes. And Oladushek just barely misses it, which is unfortunate. So dogao is going to have a ton of food here. It's 300 more food. It's basically like getting another boar. He's going to be able to make 1,000,000 scouts, so Oladushek better be prepared for that. Looks like Oladushek did have to fight one crocodile, and he will have to fight another. He's already started building a house out here, so I think he's expecting to be attacked. Of course, these reeds on top of shallows are going to be a huge pain. You know, because you chop through them and you can't wall behind them because it's shallows. But units can still walk across it. As Oladushek is building a dock. What? Crazy. Crazy Oladushek with the dock. Who builds a dock on this map? Actually, oh, dogao coming back for even more elephants. Oladushek attempting to block him, but I guess he doesn't quite get around to it, or he misses it. We got 2 more elephants coming in. That is a disaster for Oladushek. You can't let the Mongols have 4 extra elephants. That's insane. Okay, so here comes the stable. So it is going to be scouts. It's going to be lots of scouts. And Oladushek building another dock. Wow. So maybe these docks are for Oladushek to make ships. Maybe he's just going to wall this to the edge right here. And then he's going to have ships protecting the entrance to his lumber camp. That could be the plan. Yeah, look at all this food underneath underneath dogao's town center. That is going to be really hard for Oladushek to deal with. Okay, I think that these villagers just got an upgrade. Maybe they just got loom, who knows. Oladushek took a dive for these lumberjacks, but dogao responded quickly and he wasn't able to get any damage in. Alright, so dogao making scouts. He's got his junk here to keep an eye on what Oladushek is up to. He knows where Oladushek's lumber camp is. And Oladushek is going to make galleys. Figures galleys are strong. They're cost effective. I don't know that 2 on gold is sufficient for constant galley production. Looks like he's got a barracks here. He's going to make some spearmen to defend his lumberjacks. So walling is not in the plan here. As dogao decides to destroy this troublesome junk so that it will stop spying on him. Okay, Oladushek trying to get a villager pick off, and he does. Wow. And he didn't even get trapped in there either. So dogao has gotten 1 eco kill and 2 eco deaths. And we missed all but 1 of it. There were 3 villagers that were killed apparently, and we missed 2 of them. Well, kind of. I made a map for it. I've helped out a lot with this tournament, but I wouldn't say that I'm putting it on. This tournament is hosted by Coyotl22. All right, so dogao here. He's gonna harass the berry pickers. Micro on the other side of that villager to make sure that he can't get to safety. Oladushek trying to quick wall that villager in, but fails. And dogao is now on the run. The scouts did take a lot of damage, though. But perhaps if dogao is lucky, he can get another villager over here. Although there is a spearman, so he needs to be careful. All right. So dogao's scout goes down. dogao's got 3 more scouts looking around. And I don't know that dogao is going to make any more scouts. He's got 5 now. I think he had 2 more. He might just go FC. Oh no, he wants to match the naval presence of Oladushek. See, here we were saying, oh, nobody's gonna go ships on this map. Coyotl22 was saying it because nobody went ships on this map when it was played before for some other thing, and now both of the players are making ships. Some of the feedback that was given about this map is that it's not easy to predict where the ships can go and where they cannot go, as dogao gets another villager pickoff. So he's gotten 4 villager kills and lost 4 villagers, and somehow Oladushek has killed 6 of dogao's villagers, although I haven't seen it. There's no fish, so that's why they thought, well, nobody's gonna go docking here. Okay, so we got a blacksmith coming down. That is probably for fletching. It's probably not for the scouts, considering that dogao is not making any more scouts. So dogao is, look at this. He's almost able to click up to the next stage. Just needs that blacksmith, and he's got Castle Age queued. Oladushek is getting Town Watch. See all these farms? That's what happens when you don't get 4 extra boars. So I think that is a problem for this map. That there are so many neutral boars available. I guess you could argue, yeah. No, the map really was unfair. The neutral boars were much closer to dogao's town center than anything was to Oladushek's town center. And, you know, less than 1800 elo, it doesn't really matter, because they're, I don't know, maybe a 1300 could lure these in. Yeah, maybe they should look at that. But it really comes out at this elo, where players have much better micro. They're able to control their units better. So dogao just running around being a pest. Somehow Oladushek has gotten more villager kills, though, and we just haven't seen it. So that's pretty impressive. I don't know where it was or how it happened. But apparently it did. I'm wondering, I know we saw the one with the scout picking villagers off on the wood line. But all we saw was really Oladushek just making some galleys. But we never saw the galleys go out across the map to do damage. Okay, so Oladushek is rushing up a blacksmith. He has a market already. He's thinking I can click up to the Castle Age. He clicks up just as dogao reaches Castle Age. And now what's the plan for dogao? He's got more villagers going over to gold. He is only now starting to build some farms. He's getting the war galley upgrade, which is probably very smart. I think I would go war galleys too if I already had this level of investment. I'm just checking his stone. Manganite are not really an option at this point. So I think it makes sense. Oh, okay, fire ships. He got the war galley upgrade for the fire ships. Okay. Where are these villagers going? Does he want this stone out here? I mean, there's some stone right here. I guess we'll find out where those guys are going. So here come the fire ships. Luckily for Oladushek, he's walled in his lumber camp pretty well. But these docks will still take pressure, and these galleys will be destroyed. Maybe this is just Oladushek's or dogao's way of he's going to mill these elephants out here. The elephant and the crocodile want a piece of this villager. See, I think it's too risky, though. I think you're going to lose a couple villagers. But they are loomed. So what was he going to do? Build a mill out here and then take elephant that way? Or maybe build a mill and then build like some palisade walls around the villagers and then shoot at the elephants to make sure they don't take damage. Okay, so we got some steppe lancers here harassing Oladushek. He has some spearmen he's sending to intercept them. And Oladushek, being castle age, can now make turtle ships. Let's go. I love turtle ships. Oh, he manages to fit a town center here. That's nice. So that town center will allow him to take the boars much more easily. Pikemen are here. There we go. All right, got him. So Oladushek hanging on. Dogao has a good score. I don't know why Dogao didn't come in here and clear all these ships out when he had the chance. Instead, he's coming over this way with his fire ships. But why? There's nothing over here. Just exploring, perhaps? But he should have that pretty well explored already. And he's just gonna, yeah, he's just gonna eat these boars. There's a lot of hunt on this map. Oladushek with the turtle ship. So Dogao basically booming. He's just gonna boom. And he's gonna hope that Oladushek can't kill him. I'm not sure why Oladushek is attacking with the... He probably just didn't see it. But I think Oladushek needs to make something happen here. Still making villagers. He's going on stone. Maybe he wants war wagons. I think turtle ships would be a lot of fun. Have turtle ships show up everywhere. Just camp underneath town centers. It's what Koreans are all about. They're all about like big tanky things that don't really care about arrows very much. Between turtle ships and war wagons, you could have an army of like 10 turtle ships under a town center. Okay, so Dogao is putting this castle up. I bet that if Oladushek had played it a little bit differently, he could be here denying castle placement in this location. You know, like Dogao would have had to sneak the castle up somewhere back here. But Oladushek is just chilling. Maybe it's the jitters, you know, going up against a pro player, making him really nervous. But Dogao is on 3 town centers, and Oladushek is on 1. So Oladushek needs to do something before Dogao just gets too far ahead. Dogao with 62 villagers to Oladushek's 35. So we have a monastery. Oladushek is going to make a monk and pick up this relic. That's my prediction. He only has 4 on gold. These fire ships can't really pressure these gold miners because he could small wall and prevent the fountain of flame from burninating anybody. Meanwhile, Dogao is just booming. He is content to let Oladushek just leave him alone while he does his thing. Oladushek, on the other hand, has more than enough stone for a castle now. So here it comes, I think. Castle drop. Villagers going forward. Unfortunately for Oladushek, there is already a castle here, and Mangadai are being placed. There is a fire ship here. Now, I don't know that Oladushek can see that. Let's see what Oladushek's. Now, Korean villagers, you know, they do have extra vision. So he actually could see this fire ship, maybe even probably before that fire ship can see them. Yeah, that fire ship can't see the villagers, which is kind of funny. So dogao only now spotting it with his Mangadai out. So maybe Oladushek is planning some kind of tower creep. But I don't think it'll work too well because dogao is going to do a castle creep. And castle creep is better than tower creep. If you can make a castle forest, it will be more powerful than a tower forest. All right, Oladushek has to bail on that tower, which is smart. Dogao's castle will not be able to attack that tower until it gets range upgrades. Now, it already has 2 of them, so it'll need the 3rd and final one. And Oladushek's just calling it. He's realized that he's waited too long to try to hurt dogao. He's too far behind. And I think dogao did get a lot of kills early on, but, you know, it's relatively close. And Oladushek did have the advantage earlier on. So the first game goes to dogao in this best of 5. Again, dogao is a pro player, so it's tough. It's tough. It's really easy to sit here and criticize and say what Oladushek could or should have done. He definitely lasted a lot longer than I would. I would have tried to like stonewall or something, and dogao would have just killed me in feudal age, or he would have drushed me. All right, let's watch the next one. Let's see. Let's go to replays. So let's go to Bentang. This is one of Oladushek's home maps. This is his first home map in the best of 5. So this one is comfortable. You start with walls. I believe we saw Smokey versus Oladushek on this map. dogao is playing as the red Italians, and Oladushek is playing as the blue Berbers. And Oladushek wasting no time, pushing in a deer. I don't even think he's taken a sheep yet. We got a sea gate here, which is kind of interesting. This horse could just jump over the cable, but that's fine. That works too. dogao working on his sheep first. So what do you do on this map? Do you take water to get all these neutral resources? Or do you just prioritize taking all of this neutral wood here? You've got the basics inside of your own walls. And it's interesting to see players, their strategic choices like, you know, do I make ships? Do I push to the middle? So we'll see what these guys do. Last time they fought water when there were no resources on water. And there still are not a lot of resources on water. There are some flippin' dolphins, but not a lot of stuff. Very little deep fish. There are, however, box turtles here. So those box turtles could be yummy. We'll see. See if anybody goes out there. So what do you do if you play this? I would assume you would play this like arena. That's how I would play this. I would totally do the Tech Chariot 24 pop monks. I would not care about making ships or booming, especially given how little fish there is. But some people are all like, oh, you know, they're just seawalls. They're not that strong. But even still, if you do 24 pop FC into monks, you should be able to get up before your opponent's able to get in, especially given the size of these wood lines. You know, there's only a few places really realistically where your opponent can break in through your walls. And even if they do, you'll have the ability to wall behind it well before then. So to me, this is an FC map. And I think that's what both players will do. We could be wrong. Oladushek coming out here and building a dock, I guess he wants to take a little bit of fish. Now, fish will slow down your fast castle time. There's no doubt about it. So he'll have access to 350 food easily. And then, you know, he'll take a little bit of shorefish with his villager. I guess there's another one over here. But, I mean, come on. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it, but in my opinion, but we'll see. Maybe he'll need it. Maybe it'll do something really wondrous for him. So let's talk about this Civ matchup. This is basically a Civ win for dogao. Italians are very good against Berbers. Basically, the rule of thumb is that if the Italians can survive the Berber knight spam in Castle Age, and they can get those genbos rolling with some hussars in front, or maybe some onagers, something to deal with skirmishers. If they can get genbo and a skirmisher counter rolling, it's very hard to stop, even for most civilizations. You really can't beat it unless you go Pike Siege, and you happen to have better monks and better siege and better micro of both than the Italian player. Italians are a solid late game civilization. And Berbers, like, everything they want to do is mounted, right? Everything they want to do is either a cav archer, like the camel archer is, or as knights or hussars or something, and those units all get eaten alive by Genoese crossbowmen, which deal bonus damage to mounted units. If you are on a horse, that guy does extra damage to you. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me how the crossbow knows that you're on a horse and therefore it deals extra damage. It just does. Maybe, I like to imagine that it's just like this really fat crossbow bolt that's designed to just knock you off your horse, and that takes the wind out of you, and that's where the bonus damage comes from. So both players are going up to the feudal age pretty quickly. Oladushek on... Interesting. So dogao has 3 military... okay, here we go, that's why. So dogao is... I guess he's going to do some kind of man-at-arms push, I would imagine. He's got a couple villagers on gold here. So you can look and you can see 2 villagers on gold is man-at-arms. And he's got 4 villagers going forward. So man-at-arms plus a tower, I think, which could be pretty smart on this map, playing it like hideout. Now, unfortunately for dogao, Oladushek is going to scout it, and he's going to say, whoa, holy crap, 4 villagers coming forward? That is not normal. So he immediately throws down some walls here. One of which is going to be a house. And he's just going to make sure that he gets all this stuff walled up properly. But he'll probably have to still abandon this lumber camp here. But dogao doesn't care. He's going to build his tower here first. I actually would have built my tower. Oh, yeah, that's what he's doing. And just as I said it, this is what we see him do. That's smart. So Oladushek will have to abandon that lumber camp, and that'll be painful. That'll be painful for Oladushek. Oh, he's going to counter tower? I don't think it's worth it. I mean, what is this tower denying, really, that you can't just take over here? And this tower is 125 stone and 50 wood, so, like, you know, it's cheaper. Another lumber camp over here would just be cheaper. And then you could even stonewall behind here, and that would still be cheaper. But I guess Oladushek doesn't want to give up any land to dogao. Dogao pulling his man-at-arms back. They've been damaged by this tower fire. And that tower will... Interesting. So he wants to get this wall up. Why? Oh, dogao didn't even realize he could walk around it. That's funny. Okay. So another tower coming up here. And Oladushek working on this watchtower. And I guess dogao has decided he's going to push in this way now. The objective has been met. He has forced Oladushek off of this wood line, so that's fine. So Oladushek deleting his wall so that he can get in here with his scout and attack the base of that tower. Dogao making the mistake of not building this tower within range of this other one, but he did get through the wall pretty fast. So... there is a secondary layer of wall here. These villagers are going to attack the house foundation. This town center could fire upon them, and it should. But I think Oladushek is pretty distracted right now. And rightfully so. He's going up against the number 16 player in the world. So dogao doing this all with 10 seconds of town center idle time. Oladushek with 26. So the discrepancy in idle time between them gives dogao about half a villager lead. And dogao eventually giving up over here, and he's going to keep working his way around to see if he can do some damage in. Now, Oladushek could quick gate this and then build a quick stone wall here if if dogao comes up this way, Oladushek could quick wall this, and he should, but it doesn't look like he's going to. He's going to head back with these, well, nope, all right, he's turning around, sees this, he wants to build a tower here. Oladushek is going to counter tower. Oladushek has more villagers here, although in my opinion he should send at least a couple more just to be safe. And these man-at-arms are going to try to interfere with the build process. And these are Italian man-at-arms, so there's nothing special about them, but they're still man-at-arms. And man-at-arms are pretty strong, at least relative to villagers. Okay, so now we have another tower war. Oh! Dogao killing Oladushek's final sheep. Oh, poor Oladushek. So he's going to charge this tower with his villagers. And he can't really fit that many in here, though. And he's going to try to cycle out repair villagers. Take turns repairing. But I don't think a counter tower here was the right move. I think it would have just been better to plant some stone walls and just let dogao take forever trying to get through them. Although Oladushek has committed the whole village, it seems, to knocking down this tower, and he does save it. Wow. So there are still 3 man-at-arms here. They're weak, but if you micro properly, you might be able to win. But dogao is leaving. Oladushek should have walled dogao in. He should have come back here and built another wall. What is dogao doing? He's just taking a little bit of wood with him? No, he's going to lame the house. Okay. It's going to lay in the house. Now, apparently there's been some action over here that we've missed, as dogao has a fire ship and Oladushek has a galley. Now, this galley does have fletching, but 1 galley versus 1 fire ship is not sufficient numbers. And it looks like dogao is interested in these box turtles. He wants the box turtles for himself. Who could blame him? So Oladushek with 2 docks ultimately to produce from compared to dogao's 1. And dogao is going to be super annoying and build another tower here. And deny some of Oladushek's wood collection. But Oladushek seems to have held. He's getting wheelbarrow for some reason. Now, he's already Berbers, and his villagers already move faster, so I don't really know that I understand that. Repair lady here. He needs to get out. He needs to get her out of here. He's trying to keep this fire ship alive, attacking dogao. At least dogao hasn't figured out how to kill that villager yet. Or maybe he misclicked. Maybe he thought he clicked it. Alright, here we go. This villager is still not being attacked. She's immune somehow. Oh, that's annoying if you're dogao to have that happen. Dogao's villager does go down. So, dogao has gotten 2 eco kills and 6 eco deaths. Built himself a house here. Where are the man-at-arms? There's 1 in here and 2 in here. Okay. So he's just healing up the man-at-arms. Maybe he's going to use them later. Now, the one thing that dogao has been doing really well is he is stockpiling resources for the Castle Age. And remember that since dogao is Italians, Castle Age is cheaper. It's only like 680 food. So he might even be able to buy his way up right now. Oladushek is nowhere near the Castle Age, though. I think Oladushek has invested more in his defense than dogao has invested in offense against Oladushek. But Oladushek building a market. Maybe he's thinking I can use the market to help me get up in a little bit. We got some healthy villagers building a mill here to take some box turtles. So this will be an excellent source of food. Shorefish collect very quickly. Okay, dogao has clicked up. Oladushek is very close himself. He might be able to sense that dogao has taken his foot off the gas. And so he's thinking, oh, I better get up myself here. And we can see that those resources have gone away. So he's got it queued. And Castle Age is is happening now for Oladushek. He's on his way up. He's about 30 seconds behind dogao. These man-at-arms are leaving. What is this? Oh, this is funny. Oladushek wants to prevent dogao from getting away. Well, unfortunately for him, Dagao's villagers have already gotten away, but these man-at-arms, I guess he could trap in. But the man-at-arms do so much damage to this house. Look at this. It almost might have been better off building stone walls. Yes, stone walls. Oladushek trying to chop through. If he chops through, he can get to these relics in the middle. There are 5 relics there. What do we have going on out here? Oh, okay. Oladushek has a galley, and he is picking on Dagao's villagers. The ones that are in range, at least. And he's burning Dagao's dock. So Oladushek definitely has a water advantage. But it doesn't bother Dogao. He's going to take stone, so I think he's planning on getting a castle up. His plan is the castle. He's got 425 stone in the bank already, and he's going to collect a little bit more. So Oladushek still wants to keep these man-at-arms trapped, and indeed they are. Dogao has not noticed yet. He's just going to work on this other house here. I would have just done the straight-up stone walls, so you don't have to build another layer. Man-at-arms are less effective against stone walls. Now, nice. All right, so Dogao is just going to be like, hey, get out of here. And Oladushek can't fight it because his villager is weak. Because he really wants to finish that house. Come on, man. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You have 85 pop space. Just get out of there. Don't lose your villager. Oladushek does have an 8 villager lead over Dogao, though. There's a war galley. And Dogao wants to build docks on this side of the reef. But Oladushek is wise to him, sending some more ships to reinforce. House goes down. And now what are these man-at-arms going to do? There's no wall for them to break through, and there's nothing else for them to do. So it was kind of ironic, but Oladushek was giving these man-at-arms purpose by building a house wall, even though he was trying to trap them inside. So Dogao has the stone for a castle. What happens now? Ah, here it is. So Dogao is going to come and drop a castle on Oladushek. The question is, how get out of my game is that castle going to be? Is that castle going to be right over the town center? No, okay. It's going to be a little bit more conservative. This one is going to be hard for Oladushek to stop. I don't think he can stop this. Even if he garrisons in this tower, he would need to get... Oh, he already has the range upgrades too, which makes sense because he's been building galleys, but these villagers that are building on this edge are not in range. So Oladushek will eradicate Dogao's navy, but Dogao has an unstoppable castle drop going up. So he's sending the rest over here to the other side now. And this castle is up, Oladushek. And this castle being up is a big deal, because there's not a lot of stone on this map, at least not player-controlled stone. It's out here on the reef. And it's denying Oladushek's stone that's forward. It's going to destroy that tower, and now Oladushek basically has to give up this area. He's going to build another wall there, and he's going to build the town center out here on this gold. He doesn't want to fall behind again in villager count. Hopefully for Oladushek, he can survive all this. The Genoese crossbowmen are knocking at the door. Dogao has started making gen bows. These gen bows have no upgrades at the moment. They are about to get fletching, though. And what is this? Why is Oladushek pulling his navy back? I don't understand that. Seems like he would want to press the advantage. He has a numbers advantage, I think. Oh, he wants to combine these with this. Okay, that makes sense. Here come the Genbos. Why are players so afraid of stone walls, man? Just put down 8 segments of stone wall here and just like not, have the peace of mind. Now Berber ships travel faster, so as long as Oladushek has good micro, he could pretty effectively kill these fire ships. Got a demolition ship here. Aha! Here we go. Oladushek is resorting to stone walls. I like it. Now, for some reason, dogao has sent a villager all the way over here to shank at this house. I'm not really sure why that happened. So dogao deciding to put down a forward siege workshop. Wants to get to the juicy bits of Oladushek's economy, wherever that might be. But Oladushek has a serious Genoese crossbowman problem. What's he going to do about this unit? What's the plan? They do not have Bodkin. They just have Fletching. So we can keep them at bay, but once dogao starts adding siege to deal with the towers, could be a big problem for Oladushek. Oladushek needs to send this navy forward and just wipe out the rest of dogao's docks. Push that advantage while he still can. And he also needs to refresh this lumber camp. This is pretty bad. Alright, he's going to build one over here. That makes sense. Dogao just putting his man-at-arms to work, destroying some houses. Oladushek has been pushed off of this gold here. Oh, dogao is on his way to the Imperial Age. So is Oladushek. Dadgum. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe Oladushek's philosophy is, I'll just dominate the water, and I'll have a better navy. And my opponent will invest in land, but it won't matter because my navy will be so awesome. And there are a lot of resources out here. The intelligent part about this map Marintho made is that you have access to wood regardless of whether or not you have land control, right? Like if you invested in navy but not very much in land, well, you have wood that can be secured with ships. If you invested in land but not navy, so you've lost water control, well then you have lumber camps that are not in range of water. So there's opportunity for comeback. Right? It's not go one thing and then dominate it and do as well as possible. There's the opportunity for variety here. I don't know that I agree with Oladushek leaving this dock alive. So that dock will be annoying, but maybe he feels like he can do more damage somewhere else. Dogao doesn't really have a lot of stuff left next to the water, though. He's been pushing it at Oladushek's base. Oladushek is going to be Imperial Age slightly before dogao, so the philosophy is I'll get this castle up and I will win a Treb war. But he's going to be disappointed to see that dogao is going to be Imperial Age before that castle is finished. So dogao is actually, oh no, okay, Oladushek's castle does go up, and he cues a trebuchet right away. And Oladushek decides he needs another castle to make sure that he can win the trebuchet war. And I think it's smart. I think Oladushek really needs to do or die with this castle here. He cannot afford to lose the trebuchet war. And if he can destroy dogao's castles, then he can prevent dogao from making any more of these infernal Genoese crossbowmen. Oladushek prepping for it too by getting masonry, the university. He's got one trebuchet that's popped out. He's immediately going to start attacking. He knows this mangonel is coming, so he just tries to head it off. This mangonel coming to try to deny part of the castle or slow it down. There is no elevation advantage here. And Oladushek is looking to be in really good shape in this game. I mean, both of them had killed a lot of villagers and lost a lot of villagers. But maybe Oladushek can do the unexpected. Maybe Oladushek can take a game off of a top 20 player in the world. That would be pretty impressive. He just got to remember to unpack his trebuchet and start hammering away at that castle. And he should repair this castle too. Oladushek does have the stone to repair it, but he needs more repair villagers. He needs to make trebs from both of these castles, and he needs to repair this castle with a lot of stuff. Dogao is out of stone. He will have to buy some more. There's no reason to let this castle go down, though. Eight villagers repairing this castle could prevent it from falling. Alright, and the castle does fall. So Dogao has the bombard cannons out, though, and that's going to be a huge problem for Oladushek's trebuchets. Now that this castle is down, the trebuchets cannot safely destroy this castle. So Dogao very smartly getting the bombard cannons rolling because he had a trebuchet disadvantage and because he wanted to win a trebuchet war. So the bombard cannons are going to systematically flatten trebuchets. Oladushek does not have the resources to make knights or anything that could snipe these bombard cannons. So he's going to lose all of his trebuchets and his castle. So with both castles going down, I think it's GG for Oladushek. But Oladushek does have a large villager lead, so maybe he can buy enough time to do something else. Oladushek is mega housed with the fall of those castles. Okay, he does take out those annoying man-at-arms, finally. And Dogao pushing in with bombard cannons. He's got 4 bombard cannons against these mangonels. So these mangonels have to run. They do not have the technology to fight back here. Now, Dogao could attack ground. He gets 2 of the mangonels. Now, I think Dogao has given up contesting water, but I don't know that he really needs it. And Oladushek has a lot of fishing ships, and he is building more town centers out here on the reef area. So Dogao is going to take Oladushek's forward stone instead. And I think Oladushek has kind of just given up on his original base. And he's going to rely on his water control at this point. He does have a 20 villager lead. Dogao has chopped through right here, as you guys can see. So that means that these relics will soon be his. And we see archery ranges. Interesting. So Oladushek building 2 archery ranges and getting Bracer. Bracer will help his galleys. But the archery ranges, I'm not sure why he's building them. Could be thinking about Genitors, maybe? Oh no, he's thinking about elite skirmishers. Elite skirmishers as a way to stop these genbos. I don't know, it's tough at this point. Oh, okay, Oladushek is going to come across the map for a castle drop over here. Dogao will see this. He has an outpost right here. And he's sending genbos. The genbos aren't going to come here in time to deny the castle. But the bombard cannons will be able to roll over here and destroy it before much happens. I think Oladushek needed to go fast castle into some kind of knight spam. But it's easy to say that now when you're up against a pro player. Maybe the pro player would have just killed him before he had the chance to get there. But the civ advantage is real here for Dogao. Alright, I see, I understand. So this castle is here to secure an important wood line for Oladushek. Oladushek kind of maybe hoping, though, that Dogao sends his archers in too far, blows him up with the demolition ship. Dogao is going to take Oladushek's gold he had here, although Oladushek does have this reef. So one player has 1 water, the other player has 1 the center, or most of it. And here come the bombard cannons. So they're going to roll in here with the intent of attacking this castle. Oh no! All right, he's gonna get a couple shots off on these war galleys here. I think the bombard cannons could get up here and get in range of that castle without being in range of the war galleys. I could be delusional. I think they're in range of the war galleys now. Oladushek getting chemistry and conscription so that units train faster. Bombard cannons take down buildings so quickly. Look at this. This archery range is getting melted. Oladushek will need to build some new buildings, but he just can't take wood fast enough. Actually, you know what dogao could do to be super annoying is he could put like a tower or an archer in here in range of these villagers now that he's in the center. He actually has started rolling trebs in to siege this castle. Oladushek getting galleon now. Oladushek is really strapped for resources, and dogao has now tied him in villager count. dogao starting to take water under his control. Oh. He manages to avoid the heavy demolition ship. Boom. So we got galleons now. Oladushek repairing that castle. dogao has found this lumber camp here, and he's got a fire ship working on it. And he's sending more fire ships, so dogao was able to get some sneaky docks up. Several galleons go down against those bombard cannons. Remember that these are Italian bombard cannons too, so they're cheaper. Okay, Oladushek finally getting a bombard cannon of his own out after getting chemistry. But I think it's just too late. I think he's taking too much damage. I think the game-winning move for dogao here was getting chemistry very quickly and getting those bombard cannons. Those allowed him to win the Trebuchet War against Oladushek, and then Oladushek has been on the defensive ever since. But before that point, Oladushek had like a 30 villager lead and controlled water. So with no castle here, the Genbos can run in and kill lumberjacks, and that will be what happens next. And Oladushek sees that coming and calls the GG. So dogao has gotten one more win, and we'll see if Oladushek can take a game off of him before the set ends. The next map is called Island Hopping. Okay, so island hopping is a neat map. You can basically build a town center. Well, you could build your town center right away, but more importantly, you can build multiple town centers starting in the Dark Age. So what we've seen on this map is players like having really extended Dark and Feudal Ages and then getting to the Imperial Age very quickly based on all of the resources that they have. And there's always some neutral islands here, and you kind of start on your own small island. These other smaller islands out here have crocs guarding them, so you don't want to settle on those ones, but nevertheless, they're there. They have some bonus box turtles, I suppose. This is kind of a mangrove wetland. It's pretty nice. These islands are large. So water domination isn't as important. But this is obviously still a water map. So whoever wins water wins this map, from my experience. But you don't have to win water all of the time. You can do your own thing inside of these big islands. And I kind of like the mystery and discovery that's associated with that. It makes the map bigger and more mysterious, you know? Okay, so we have dogao as the red Vikings. He is at 8 o'clock. And we have Oladushek as the blue Malay at 2 o'clock. So what civ do you prefer for this map? They're both obviously water civilizations. So they're both fantastic picks for this map. I think I would rather have the Malay, honestly. The harbors sound really good to me. Could you imagine Oladushek building this big network of harbors and just all of the arrows coming off of those harbors? Yeah, I really like this map. I wish this map worked in a larger player size, because we went to play a community game on this map the other day, the Alchemy community, and the map didn't load, unfortunately. The other thing I would say this map would need would be elevation of the land over the water. It's just the right thing to do. You need to nerf the damage that ships do to land units, and you need to increase the amount of damage that land units do to ships. It's very intuitive. So the big question is anybody going to build a second town center in feudal age, or are they just going to go, fast castle and do the normal thing, except maybe with some fish? It'll be interesting to see if Oladushek makes any farms this game. I tried not to make farms when I played this map. There's a lot of fish, especially since he's Malay and he gets those more efficient fish traps. Now dogao being Vikings, with the free wheelbarrow and handcart, farming makes more sense. Indeed, farms can be upgraded to be more cost-effective at converting wood into food. Dogao housed for a little bit, so both players with some town center idle time. It's easy to forget to build houses when this is all the space that you have to do it in. So let's talk about island expansion. I think it'd be really smart for Oladushek to expand to this island early on, because it will give him some much needed vision about the aggressive actions and maneuvers of his opponent. Whereas if his opponent took this island, then his opponent would basically he'd be within striking range of this island to the north and this island down here to the south, both of which are islands that Oladushek could want to expand to. So this island is very important for Oladushek, and I think he should make an effort to colonize it as soon as possible. For dogao, he actually only has these two islands here, so I don't think it matters as much. But this is probably the smarter island to colonize, and he's already built a lumber camp out here, because this island is within striking range of this island and this island, whereas this one is only in striking range of this island. Obviously they're both in range of this one. But if he's here, he might even be able to spread up to this corner too, or prevent Oladushek from doing so. So Oladushek is going to take the same bait that I did and build another town center in the Dark Age on an island that's near him. He's not going to expand to this island. He wants to build up his economy in the Dark Age, but dogao not doing that. Dogao going Feudal Age. He's just going to fish. He's going to be content with fishing. So Oladushek taking the more economic approach, dogao taking the more militaristic approach, I think. What's this? Where's he going? Oh, interesting. He just built a dock there. That's all he wanted to do. Just refresh his dock for the fishing ships. And now he's going to bring the villager back. So she probably fought a crocodile, built a dock, and then headed back. So dogao is really investing in the fishing here. Getting double bit axe. Oladushek has Feudal Age queued now. He is not producing from this other town center. He should be, though. He has the 2 town centers. Actually, I would have done Feudal Age in this one because there are fewer resources on this island. And I would have continued making villagers from this town center because villagers made from this town center aren't going to need to be moved off the island as soon. So it's less micro. Both players are well aware of where the other player is. We got 3 galleys coming forward from dogao already. Luckily for Oladushek, he is just hitting Feudal Age now. So he will have the ability to make military naval units in response to this. But I don't know if he wants to. Okay, he is making galley. He's making galleys. They're both going to go galleys. dogao's galleys are going to be here before Oladushek's galleys. And Oladushek has a villager lead over dogao because of that second town center. So we'll see what happens. dogao is able to even the odds. Oladushek does not have fletching yet. Does dogao have fletching? No. Neither player has fletching yet. dogao's transport ship is under attack. Oh no. This one, okay. It'll be fine. So we got a market coming down for Oladushek. That makes a lot of sense. He had a lot of villagers on this gold because there was nothing else for them to do once they're made from this town center, unless he wanted to take stone. dogao massing up some more galleys. He's going to finish fletching soon. Oladushek, I do not believe has fletching, and I don't think he'll get it anytime soon. Because he's got 2 town centers working, keeping villagers under production. Now we also have to note that Vikings have a bonus of cheaper warships. So that is definitely helping dogao out as well. He's building 4 galleys, 3 or 4 galleys at a time, whereas Oladushek is building 2 at a time. Oladushek's economy is not as set up to build these, and they're more expensive for him. He did just get fletching though, so he's going to be more apt to take some fights. Needs to be careful though, because dogao is here looking to get some villager kills. He kills 2 villagers there. Oladushek was looking the other way. And dogao is starting to catch up in villagers. He's got 37 villagers to Oladushek's 40. And he has far less town center idle time, 1 minute to 5.5 minutes. Oh, you know what? I think Oladushek is intentionally idling his town centers so that he can click up to the next stage. I don't know how much investment he has in fishing, but it doesn't really seem like he's that invested in fishing anymore. What are Oladushek's food? What is his income? Ah, okay, it's right here, these fishing ships. So he's basically just slowly buying his way up. That's interesting. That's an interesting idea. And since he's Malay, he'll advance lightning quick too. So I think that's the plan here. Yeah, there it is. So he needs to not fight anything. Did he really delete that dock? It didn't look like his dock was destroyed. Looked like he deleted it. Another dock going up. Okay. Well, we'll see if he survives. Dogao is on his way up as well, although Dogao is going to be up much later than Oladushek. Oladushek does not really have the resources to get the War Galley upgrade even when he hits the next age. So we may find that Dogao actually gets the War Galley upgrade before Oladushek does. Which would be annoying for Oladushek. He'd be like, oh, what I idled for that. And we're going to have a big galley fight here. I think in order to improve this map, the channels need to be smaller between the islands. After that, it would be a fantastic map, though. Okay, War Galley research is coming in. And he changed, the reason he started researching it and then canceled is because he actually changed the location where it was being researched. He's getting Bodkin as well. So he'll have some good upgrades here. He's getting ready to take a fight with dogao. Okay, here they are. And so now dogao, all he has to do is run around and wait until he gets upgrades. However, this is a dead end here. Yeah, and dogao knows it. So he clicks his galleys to go home. And now dogao is castle age. Oladushek will see that. And I think Oladushek might panic and try to chase dogao all the way back. Oladushek will have to continue to mass galleys. But dogao is going to get away. And Oladushek knows it. Bodkin comes in. War Galley is going to be here pretty soon. And then Oladushek will be the one on the run. There they are, War Galleys. And both players are getting ballistics. So that'll really help them out. dogao is getting the lumber camp upgrades. The wood collection rate upgrade, I should say. Careening for Oladushek. In terms of armor here, they have 6 pierce armor right now. So we'll see how much, I'm trying to remember how much careening adds, as Oladushek is taking some limited fights here. Are these galleys all going to be gone before the upgrades come in? Okay, it's only one plus 1 pierce armor. So Oladushek's navy is eliminated. Fight was a little bit too soon. Is this... I don't think that dock is going to go up. Nope. dogao not allowing that dock to go up. And Oladushek calls the GG. Took the fight just a little bit too soon, and dogao is just a little bit more aggressive. I've heard people say that the town center is a trap on this map. Like you don't want to build more town centers because the fishing is so good early on. And maybe that is the case here because we didn't see dogao go second town center before Castle Age, whereas Oladushek did. So dogao taking the third win here, which means that he has defeated Oladushek 3-0. Not really a surprise. Oladushek is a good player, but dogao is a pro player. So dogao will be moving on into the next stage, the round of 8 for the Blue Carbon Cup. And we'll look forward to bringing you guys some more casts of the Blue Carbon Cup. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and found these games entertaining. And we'll see you guys again soon.